silence now doesn't just make you as bad as the bigots in power. It makes you worse, because deep down inside, you have the ability to understand that what is happening right now is cruel and un-American. And you simply just do not give enough of a fuck about your fellow Americans to even speak up in their defense. Last week, the Department of Defense and Air Force leadership announced that they were going back on their word and that trans service members who served honorably for 15 to 18 years and who are now being separated from the military for no reason at all other than their gender identity would be denied any of the retirement benefits they earned. And as if that wasn't bad enough, on Friday, they further announced that trans service members would be denied the right to even appear before a military separation board, a right which every service member is supposed to have. For those of you unfamiliar, military separation boards are essentially the military's equivalent of due process. During a separation board, a service member appears before a jury of fellow service members and hear evidence both for and against the service member's separation before issuing a recommendation. When I say that every service member is entitled to one of these boards, I mean it. Even service members charged with heinous crimes involving the abuse of children or extreme domestic are given the chance to stand before a military separation board. So you're telling me that in the eyes of the Pentagon and the White House, service members literally accused of people and children still deserve due process, but service members who have served their country honorably for nearly 20 years and have committed zero crimes do not deserve that due process, simply because they find their gender identity icky. Honestly, the fact that I don't see more people angry about this, particularly the people who have been insisting that none of this is about attacking trans people, they simply want to protect women and children, but otherwise they're totally okay with trans people just living their lives peacefully, makes me furious. How fucking dare you insist that you harbor no hatred towards trans people, you simply want to safeguard bathrooms and girls' sports, only to then sit silently when the movement that you helped grow moves on to actively targeting and harming trans people, just like we fucking warned you it would. Your silence now doesn't just make you as bad as the bigots in power. It makes you worse, because deep down inside, you have the ability to understand that what is happening right now is cruel and un-American. And you simply just do not give enough of a fuck about your fellow Americans to even speak up in their defense. Oh, and just because I clearly can no longer trust that you selfish assholes can be persuaded by hearing about other people's pain, just a reminder that if the US government can renege on a contractual obligation to service members to provide retirement benefits just because current leadership finds them icky, it's not going to take much for your employer to be able to do the same for whatever dumbass reason they want. Standing silently while your fellow Americans' rights are attacked doesn't just hurt those other Americans, you idiots. It also sets a precedent for when they decide to attack your rights next.